Number 95.
It could be used to unite China under a single dictator like Hitler or Mussolini. We don't need another of those fellows.
Ripley's Believe It or Not, The Riddle of Master Lu. Robert Ripley was a man who dedicated his life to the weird and unusual in this world, so much so that he made his name synonymous with it. He traveled the world and saw thousands of strange and fascinating things. And according to this game, he was also a hero, having stopped some evil men from gaining control over all of Asia. Believe it or not. Actually, don't believe it. It's fiction. But it's pretty good fiction. The Riddle of Master Lu takes place in 1936. Tensions are high in Europe thanks to a burgeoning Nazi threat, and at the behest of an old baron, Robert Ripley is investigating a Chinese artifact, the Emperor's Seal. It isn't long before he finds himself in danger. He's being shadowed by two Chinese thugs who want the seal so they can seize power over all of China. To defeat them, the talented Mr. Ripley has to gather clues across the globe to solve a puzzle that was created 2,000 years ago. This globe-trotting adventure offers much in the way of edutainment. There's a lot to learn here about other cultures, especially Chinese culture, and the period just before World War II broke out is an intriguing one to explore. As a bonus mission, you can pick up all sorts of trinkets and artifacts to send back to Ripley's museum, the Auditorium, and while I can't be certain the artifacts you find are genuine, enough of this game is historically accurate to surmise that these neat little touches are accurate too. The controls are pretty standard fare for a 2D adventure game. Click to move Robert's digitized actor around what appears to be pre-rendered 3D backdrops, but the interface feels rather dated. In order to look at anything, you can just click it. But to manipulate or take it, you have to click the appropriate icon in the bar at the bottom first, which gets tiresome after a while. Operating your inventory wasn't terribly intuitive either, but I eventually got the hang of it. The characters are, well, interesting. What with Robert Ripley being something of a perfect man, he sometimes feels like the kind of leading man you'd see in a 1950s adventure movie. All the women swoon for him, as he's debonair and handsome, even though they didn't exactly nail the likeness. And Mei Ling runs the risk of being a stereotypical love interest / sidekick, but it later turns out she has a bit more depth to her. The puzzles are a bit on the devilish side. There are some really perplexing ones here, some of which aren't helped by the pixel hunting required. Some of the hotspots you need to interact with are tiny. And Robert himself can easily get in the way of the object you need, forcing you to move him aside before you can do what you need to do. And they're all inventory puzzles, no logic puzzles at all, which is a shame. But the worst of the worst is the maze. Seriously, this was absolute hell. If you're gonna play this, save yourself some aggravation and get a walkthrough, even if only for the maze, because damn. The game contains a decent amount of short full-motion video clips which only overlay the action at key dramatic moments. But slightly more impressive is the amount of voice work on display here. Everything is spoken aloud, from Robert Ripley's internal observations to full dialogue scenes between characters. The only real downside to the audio is that there appears to be little to no music, just ambient background sounds. Though that could be due to my method of running the game. The Riddle of Master Lu won't start or play normally in Windows 7, so I turned to DOSBox to get it working. I was partially successful, though there was a weird glitch later where I couldn't give Wolf the money he wanted because the game got stuck in an endless loop. This was a timing issue, and was easily resolved by changing the cycle rate in DOSBox to a number under 10,000. So I'd advise setting that up in your DOSBox config before starting out. The Riddle of Master Lu is a very good adventure game, and I will admit that I enjoyed exploring the exotic locales and learning tons of little tidbits about history and culture. And some of the dialogue and character interactions were highly entertaining as well. Despite some frustrations and that frigging annoying maze, I had fun with this one, and it earns its spot on AdventureGamers.com's list at number 95. Believe it or not. Next time, number 94.
Better put you in the right mood from the start. I hope you have a strong stomach. Follow me.